40% of food in the U.S. ends up in the trash. That adds up to more than 20 pounds of food per person every month.
News 8's Jenna Traum brings us a look at what some people in our community are doing to keep some of that food from going to waste.
Mike and Lisa, at a time when 1 in 6 Americans doesn't always know where their next meal is coming from, these statistics from the Natural Resources Defense Council are raising some eyebrows, like the fact that Americans waste 50% more food today than they did in the 70s. But some people in our area are taking extra steps to keep that food out of our landfills. Gunderson Lutheran goes through a lot of food, and for a while, about 1,100 pounds of it went to waste every week, but not anymore.
Wasting food is not acceptable. And in a hospital, you have 24/7, every day of the year, you have to have food available. But if you manage it well and you really track it, you can reduce the amount that gets wasted.
2 years ago, they started keeping track of how much food they were wasting, what was being wasted, and why. It's helped them reduce their food waste by 80%. They also donate extras to the Salvation Army, perfectly good meals that would have otherwise gone in the trash.
If we have leftover a couple burritos, we may have a couple pieces of fish, we may have a pan of baked beans. There could be a special function where they've ordered chicken breast for 100 and 80 people show up. So those extra 20, those go to the Salvation Army, and less fortunate are really happy to have them.
But what do you do with food that can't be saved? Compost it. La Crosse resident Sherry Schuyler has a 3-bin compost system in her front yard.
There's a worm. See him wiggling around there? A couple of them. Whoop.
And in her basement, she's got a couple of pans of worms composting. She puts her food and yard waste in.
So I've got rotten tomatoes, coffee grounds, and the filters, onions, skins.
And lets Mother Nature do her work.
Critters of all sorts. There's bacteria is the initial breakdown. Centipedes, millipedes, anything else that you would see crawling around on the ground will come.
Those critters break down the food scraps into soil, which she then uses for her potted plants to grow more food.
I love getting in there and seeing what nature can do, because I really don't feel like I do anything. I put it there, the bugs come, they eat it, turns into something I can use, and my plants love it.
Now, if you'd like to try composting at home, Schuyler says to make sure you don't put in any meat scraps or dairy. That attracts critters that you don't want. The big critters, like raccoons and skunks, which you probably don't want in your yard.
All right, thanks very much, Jenna. Gunderson Lutheran does not have a compost system right now, but their executive chef says it's something he's considering for the future.